Acing your WAEC and NECO examinations has been made easy by the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education with the Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO Candidates television program. Join seasoned teachers as they take you through these core subjects, targeting the exact syllabus of WAEC and NECO. Watch Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates through these social media platforms to access more educational content and give their feedback. Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Pass your examinations with flying colors.
Good day, learners. Welcome to Eko Learners Support for NECO and WAEC candidates. My name is Salah Abubakar Olaoluwa. I'll be taking you history. The topic we'll be looking at today is a kind of continuation of the previous topic we've taught before, which is ECOWAS. Today we'll be looking at the structure and organs of ECOWAS. We'll be looking at the structure and organs of ECOWAS. The learning objectives are, at the end of this lesson, students will be able to list the major organs of ECOWAS. The second one is mention the functions of each of the organs of the ECOWAS. Then, lastly, students will be able to list the other specialized agencies and institutions within the ECOWAS organization. We'll look at what are the structure and organs of ECOWAS is. The structure and organs of ECOWAS are the way the organization is being structured for maximum operation and effective implementation of policy. Over time, for effective operation and implementation of policies, ECOWAS has undergone several restructuring and institutionalization of an organ or the modification of a new organ. For example, now, when we look at the Commission, which is the administrative organs of ECOWAS, it has undergone a series of structuring, introduction of new departments, and realignment of some other departments for effective and maximization of resources. Now we'll be looking at the organs of ECOWAS. ECOWAS has 7 major organs and some other specialized departments, but these organs are seen as the major arms and are the ones that are responsible to carry out the major functions of ECOWAS. So the 7 major organs include the Authority of Head of State and Government, the ECOWAS Commission, the Community Parliament, the Community Court of Justice. Then we also look at the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development, West Africa Health Organization, then the International Intergovernmental Action Group Against Money Laundering and Terrorism Financing in West Africa, and this was established in 1999. So now we'll start with the Authority of Head of State and Government. The Authority of Head of State and Government comprises of the head of state or government or representative of each member state. The membership comprises the Authority of Head of State and Government is being headed by a chairman, and this chairman is being elected to head this organ of ECOWAS for a period of 1 year, which is renewable after the end of the tenure. Then we'll look at the meetings. The Authority of Head of State and Government meets usually at least once in a year, but it is important to know that when important issues occurs or when there are certain things to to discuss. They call for extraordinary session, and there is no number of specific extraordinary session that can be called within a year. Then we also look at the functions. The functions of the authority of head of state and government includes the ratification, signing of treaties, ratification of treaties, appointment of executive secretary and president of commission, and oversight of every other arms and organs of ECOWAS. Then we will now go to the ECOWAS Commission. This ECOWAS Commission serves as the secretariat of ECOWAS. The commission is being headed by an executive secretary and president of the commission. Unlike other international organizations like the Commonwealth of Nations or United Nations organization, which have a secretary general, ECOWAS does not have a secretary general. What they have is the executive secretary and president of the commission. And this executive secretary and president of the commission is being appointed by the authority of head of state and government for a term of 4 years. And this term of 4 years is being renewable once. And another thing to note is that the executive secretary is being assisted in carrying out of his duty by 2 deputy executive secretary. Also, we will now look at the roles. What is the role of the commission? The commission is the administrative arms and organ of the ECOWAS. It has its office at Abuja, which is the headquarters of ECOWAS, and they keep record and do other administrative and secretariat functions of ECOWAS. Then other thing we look at is the location, which is Abuja, Nigeria, and also we've talked about the leadership being headed by the executive secretary, and their functions include performs administrative work, prepares annual budget, implement decision of the council of ministers and the authority of head of state and government, then control the funds of the ECOWAS, and also do oversight function on the specialized organs of ECOWAS, but not on other arms and organs of ECOWAS, but on their specialized institutions. Also, we look at the community parliament. The community parliament consists of 115 members, and the number of members that is given to a particular state, or the number of representatives that is given to a particular state or member of ECOWAS is based on the proportion of their population. For example, now Nigeria has the highest number, having the highest population among member states. Nigeria has 35 representatives in ECOWAS parliament. Then we look at the role. The role of ECOWAS parliament is both political and administrative. And the political arms are being structured in the plenary, the Bureau of Parliament, the Conference of Bureau. Then we look at the Community Court of Justice. The Community Court of Justice is the judiciary arms of ECOWAS. The protocol that established the Community Court of Justice was being signed in 1991, but not until 1996 when the protocol come into effect. That's when the Community Court of Justice within the arms and organs of ECOWAS started its operation. And when we look at the functions of the Community Court of Justice, their first duty is to interpret the treaties and protocol that are being signed by member states. That's the first one. They also settle disputes among member states. Also, they revise treaties that are already signed for any erroneous or conflict of law. Then also, they advise the commission on legal issues and also serve as the legal advisor to the authority of head of state and government. And also, it has also been given the jurisdiction to rule on issues that has to do with fundamental human rights breaches within nation states. It is important to know that, for example, Nnamdi Kanu, who is a Nigerian that is being detained by the government, has taken the federal government of Nigeria to ECOWAS court for the breach of its fundamental human rights. So this gives individual the right to sue a nation state or takes them to ECOWAS court. Also, we will look at the significance. The court plays a crucial role in ensuring the proper implementation and application of ECOWAS treaties and regulation, because you know treaties are legal terms. They are mostly legal documents that even sometimes the head of state that signs it may not know the extent and implication of what they are signing. So it is the function and the duty of the Community Court of Justice as an organ of ECOWAS to ensure the implementation of all these treaties and to ensure that the regulations and the rules within them are being properly enacted. Also, we'll be looking at the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development, an organ of ECOWAS. Formerly, this arm or this organ of ECOWAS is being called the Fund for Settlement and Development. But as time goes on, it is being reorganized and it's metamorphosed into the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development. And their function, the major function of this organ or institution of ECOWAS is to provide fund for both the private sector initiation or public sector development. When we talked about public sector development, it has to do with projects and finances that are being sponsored by government, while it also serves the private sector. It provides services and fund for them also for development. Also, the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development also has to look into fund. They also attract foreign direct investment into Africa. They monitor the implementation of these foreign direct investment and make sure that investors doesn't lose their money, and they also advise foreign investors who wanted to come into the shore of West African region to invest. Also, they make sure that they attract external resources, soliciting for loans and funds and grants with other external financial institutions for member states' benefit. Then we look at compensation. They also provide compensation to member states that have sustained loss or are in need of support, or those that have been faced with disaster that need fund or resources to do what? To rehabilitate after the emergence of such disasters. We'll look next at West Africa Health Organization, which is WAO. This West Africa Health Organization is an arm and organ of ECOWAS that has the primary obligation of looking after the health and well-being of citizens living within the member states. The mandate is to safeguard the health of the people within the ECOWAS region, and their responsibilities include initiating health policies, harmonization of health policy, pooling resources together, and combating health problems. So what's the major responsibility of WAO, which is West African Health Organization, is to monitor the implementation of resources to make sure that the health policy that is applicable and that is ruling in each member state are being unified, and also ensure that they solicit for funds and resources in getting drugs, in getting equipment, and in getting research knowledge for member states in health services. And their achievement has included the combating of diseases like malaria, COVID-19, monitoring of maternal and infant mortality, and improving access to diseases and vaccines. Are also doing research on tropical diseases that are ravaging the region to make sure that proper medication, the effective medication, can be developed to counter those diseases. Then that's the last organs of ECOWAS. We'll now be looking at other institutions within ECOWAS that are given the responsibility, that are given some other specific responsibility. We'll be looking at the ECOWAS technical and specialized agencies. These agencies look or functions within the specific area of their specialization. This specialized agency contribute to the effective implementation of ECOWAS policies and overall development of the region. The first one we'll be looking at ECOWAS Brown Card. This ECOWAS Brown Card as a commission tends to focus on the emergency of accident, because they believe that irrespective of wherever you are within ECOWAS sub-region, whether you are a citizen of that country or not, in as much as you are within the ECOWAS sub-region, if you have an accident, you must be attended to with prompt response. And the function of ECOWAS Brown Card is to make sure that all record of people that has accidents in other neighboring country is being recorded. The financial obligations of their treatment are being recovered by member states to the appropriate sector. Then we also look at ECOWAS ceasefire monitoring group, which is being called ECOMOG. This is like a military or security arms and outfit of ECOWAS. The membership of this ECOMOG is voluntary contribution by member states. Though ECOWAS does not have a standing military force of its own, but member states contribute their forces, both their military and paramilitary forces, to serve under ECOMOG. And part of their achievement, maintaining peace and security among member states, they've been deployed in the likes of Liberia and other West African states that are plunged into civil war and other internal political crises. Also, we'll be looking at ECOWAS Youth and Sport Development Center. This is the institution that normally organize the biannual ECOWAS games, as we normally have, which the last one was being hosted in Ghana. So their function is to look into the development of youth and sporting activities among member states. We'll also look at the Social and Cultural Affairs Commission. This Social and Cultural Affairs Commission is an organ of ECOWAS that looked into the social interactions among member states. They organize fashion show, they organize trade fair, they organize beauty pageant competition for member states to attend, and it serves as a platform of interaction among member state citizens. Also, the ECOWAS West Africa monetary agencies, just like apart from this all the other agencies, just as their names applies and implies, their functions lies in the area of specialization of their name. Just like the West Africa Monetary Agency, the Regional Agency for Food and Agriculture, which looks into food safety and food security among member states, the Regional Electricity Regulatory Authority, which looks at how member states provide and assist each other in the provision of energy and other resources. Then ECOWAS Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, the West Africa Power Pool, ECOWAS Gender Development Center, which looks at women empowerment and gender equality. Also, the ECOWAS West Africa Monetary Institute, the ECOWAS Infrastructure Project, which looks at the development of infrastructural facility for the general benefit of member states, and the Defense Commission, and lastly, the Trade, Custom, Immigration, Monetary and Payment Commission. The practice questions. The first one is examine 3 organs of ECOWAS and their functions. Just as we've mentioned, 7 organs of ECOWAS. Part of these organs include the Authority of Head of State and Government, the ECOWAS Commission, and the Community Court of Justice. So then the second one is list 5 specialized commissions of ECOWAS. Part of these commissions are the ones we treated in the last subtopic of the slide, which includes the ECOMOG and some other specialized agency of ECOWAS. Thank you very much. This is the end of the lesson.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
If you have any observation, comment or contribution concerning the topic we just treated, please try to get in touch with us through the social media handles that is being displayed on the screen. Thank you.